Ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Rough Week Podcast. Thank you for joining us. Leave a like. Help make us the most.
Yeah, make us
podcast
the most. We're trying to be the most liked podcast of all time. Just pure numbers.
Yeah, just raw numbers, raw statistics. We're joined by an illustrious guest today, a friend of the pod, a friend of ours, Jarrett Moore.
What's
the lovely Jarrett Moore?
What's the lovely JM? JQM.
Jarrett QAnon Moore.
Jarrett QAnon Moore. Thanks for joining us,
Jarrett Robinette Moore.
Yeah, dude. We've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
Which the world might not know.
No, we started in Orlando together. 2017.
Yep.
I think you gave me Molly like the first or second time. I think I
really.
I think I drove you somewhere in exchange for Molly.
Probably to like Jacksonville or something. Then
no, it was very short. It was like 2 years.
It was like I was just looking for a buddy to do Molly with.
I think it was like a 5-minute drive. And then
I think I might have done it recently, and I was like, I don't want.
You had too much, and you just had to offload.
I was Molly Rich.
Yeah. Molly Rich, cash poor.
They call me Molly Rich.
You ever flush drugs down the toilet?
No.
No, I did.
No, what do you mean? What are you fucking? What are you in Goodfellas?
No, like
that was $37,000.
Like the next day, you still have some left over, and you're like, ugh.
I can't even look at.
Yeah.
No, I have thrown away all my drugs before, like in a big thing, just like I'm fucking done. And then 2 days later, I'm like, oh, this is incredibly cheap. I could just buy more. Was
it like weed or something?
No, it was weed, and it was that time I got like laced at like, the vape shop. Yeah, I did that.
It was weed gummies then, right?
No, it was that weird type of weed gummies. It was like THCP.
Dude, this is like...
I hate this shit. The Delta 8 stuff.
So this is where it just got banned in Texas. I believe that's going to go into effect in September. So that's like...
Dude,
that's half the businesses in Texas are like fake weed
white
shops.
Guys with dreads are fucking living.
Yeah.
I need a business, man.
Because all those places used to be frozen yogurt shops in 2012.
Yeah.
You know?
Things were nice.
Yeah, and then they all got replaced by fucking weapons-grade nitrous. Yeah. Like they're like
the Obama era. The Obama to Trump, like, fucking fucking
that's
nitrous
the canary
to
in the
ice
coal
cream. They just have extra nitrous because they made so much whipped cream.
Just like the sprinkles aren't cutting it anymore. We need to fully fucking dissociate.
Like, okay, just keep all the gas and get rid of the cream.
Yeah.
You know the guy who just worked...
They all used to be pink berries, and now they're like, we actually sell strawberry-flavored fucking computer ink.
Yeah.
Have you seen somebody run those through their car? It's the same fucking nitrous from like Fast and Furious. They're like, oh, this is actually better than like the automotive nitrous. Like it burns so clean. Like they just have...
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they have the Galaxy gas, and then they're just putting a hose right into their intake, and then they're just like street racing and then fucking huffing it, and then like they're doing the same drugs as their car. Like they do a hit, and then they give it to the Honda Civic.
Yeah. No, it's funny. I got into a thing. We were doing. I've never done Galaxy. No, I have, but I was doing it, and so my friend was like, "That can't be good for you." I'm like, "Nitrous oxide really isn't that bad for you if you don't do it too much." It's not. I gotta hit the dentist.
This is it.
A doctor. It's from the earth.
First of all, 0 calories. 0 grams of sugar. No, so I was doing it, and they're like, I'm like, it's really not bad for you. They go, it's cherry flavored.
Yeah.
And I go, well, the flavoring's probably there's probably
when we were here, and I actually didn't do the Galaxy gas when we were here, but then our friend was saying, I think this is probably bad for you, and then he just took a hit. He goes, oh yeah, dude, this is definitely terrible for you.
Just go slow motion immediately.
Yeah.
Any drug that puts you on 0.25 times speed.
Yeah. That really is nitrous. You're just on 0.25 speed for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Adderall 1.5.
yeah, literally. Yeah.
You're just controlling the YouTube speed on it.
Yeah.
Other
if you do
dumb
Adderall
drug
and nitrous, you're just normal.
Yeah.
I've never done a whippet.
It's fine. You're really not missing out on anything.
I think when I was like a kid, like I just like fucked around with whipped cream, but it was nothing,
Nice. You kind of get like a head rush, and you're like,
yeah.
woo. But if you do a lot of them, like if you go fucking Steve-O mode, you could like, see the devil and stuff.
Yeah.
A dumb drug thing. I remember when we were in Orlando one time, I was telling you I was taking Robitussin, and then you're like, that's like really bad. I was drinking like bottles of Robitussin like when I first went to college. And then you're like, yeah, isn't that like super bad for your organs? I'm like, oh no, I eat like a whole bag of pretzels when I do it.
I remember
because I thought it would neutralize. Because some random Reddit post was like, no, pretzels, you're in the
You're clear.
It will soak up the poison if you have enough Snyder's.
If you have a bag of Snyder's, dude, you can robo trip as long as you want. Totally fun.
Yeah, pretzels are a natural defense line.
Yeah.
Yeah, against
the
like,
flavor thing cuts the acidity of the cough
it's
syrup.
because it's like it's just full of Tylenol. So you're just like also
Yeah, it's
yeah. My uncle is a doctor, and he was like, yeah, I mean, it's like if you take enough of that shit, you'll just get liver failure. Mm-hmm. Like if you can OD on
Tylenol's super bad.
You can OD on Tylenol. Yeah,
that's like
Yeah,
the
that makes sense.
Percocets. The poisonous part is the Tylenol.
Right, they have like 500
Yeah, so like
milligrams of
hardcore like
Tylenol.
opiate addicts.
So
they're
meaning like
you know, you should-
acetaminophen?
Yeah, the acetaminophen, that's really bad on your liver.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're like, you know, if you're just a Percocet addict, just do heroin. It's like better for you.
It's
literally-
because you're not getting that like Tylenol toxicity.
It's not cut
Crazy.
with Tylenol.
Is ibuprofen bad for you?
I don't know.
I don't think so. Well, probably shouldn't take a ton.
I used to take it after I drank, which all my friends said is bad for me, but they're fucking dumb.
Yeah, they are dumb. Fuck them, dude.
But-
Make you feel better.
Live
How
your
can
life.
something that makes you feel better be bad for you?
Yeah, it's
Think
true.
about it.
Think about it.
Think about it, bruh. No, I don't. I mean, I'm not really worried. Well, that's when you get old. Like, you know, like I worry about older people who are just housing Tylenol because everything hurts, like, 24/7. And but then it's like,
At that point, who
I think
cares?
Louis has a joke about it where they're like, well, isn't this bad for my liver? And he's like,
Yeah, the one where he
ankle
goes, "You're
hurts."
not an athlete."
yeah, he goes,
Yeah.
you're not an athlete.
So just take those every day. For how long?
Yeah.
Just
take
keep
10
doing it.
a
yeah,
Just
yeah,
do it
it's just
forever.
like, yeah, you can take.
Yeah.
It says you can take 5 a day. Just take fucking 20. Like it doesn't even matter. Yeah, I think I don't know. My pops is getting up there, and he slams ibuprofen because his
Dude.
fucking shoulder fell off of his own fucking body.
Yeah, because you
My
fucking
dad's
blue
been
collar for 30
he's
years.
fucked.
It's
dad's
He's fucking
taking
fully
shit.
John McCaining. Like he
Yeah.
can't reach over his head.
Dude, my dad's taken multiple ibuprofen every day of his life, like since I've known him.
Right.
So 30 years, or at least since I can remember.
Yes.
Like he would just take,
Yeah.
just like it's like a morning vitamin.
It's the Norm Macdonald joke, just the old guys that do everything wrong and live forever.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
every day I drink a bottle of whiskey and hit myself in the head with a shovel.
yeah, I hit myself in the head with the shovel.
God, I wish I could die. I'm praying for him to take me, but he won't take me.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Every time you see one of those, like, it's like on Extra. Like it'll be like a 106-year-old man. They always like drink a thimble full of whiskey or something and eat pork chops. And
Also,
stuff.
unless
It's like I think you're just black and eat organic food like that. You know what I mean? Like I think you just like they always serve. It's always like the only World War II
You
vets
take
are,
away.
the only World War II vets around are like It's like I'm Jermaine Willits, 112. I'd lied to get in the army.
Tyrone Jackson
Roosevelt.
Sr.
What?
Got a pig's heart.
I got a pig's heart and no. They're always like they look. You're like they don't even look 90, but they look 89 and they're 112.
So funny, that's your takeaway. They're just black guys eating carrots.
I think they are just black guys eating carrots at the end of the day. If we could all strive to be so healthy.
I always think Asians live super long. When I think of people living long, I picture the Japanese.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And it's all at once, too. They're young forever, then one day it hits the switch.
Yeah, they're like
Just hit the
Native
Yoda
Americans.
Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been.
Yeah,
You almost
oh.
had the 90 degrees.
Yeah, I got the
You're
scolio.
getting there.
Yeah, Native American ladies, they go from like looking like the most beautiful woman you've ever seen, and then overnight they start looking like Danny Trejo. And you're like, what happened? Like,
Do we
she-
all have to
of
get
your
in knife
fathers.
fights? Why do you all
Yeah.
have scars from knife fights?
Yeah,
I've
we
never
ever
seen. I feel like you've done some interesting research. I don't know if I've met an old Native American woman.
we have a
in
big
my entire
res.
life.
We have a big
Oh, yeah.
reservation right near where I grew up.
Throw rocks
In
over the
Buffalo?
wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Well,
Tuscaroras.
they love the buffaloes.
Yeah,
They're like, where are these fucking things? Goddamn white people killed all of them.
That's so
I
funny.
thought this was the one place with buffaloes.
To be named after a town of the resource we just fucking eliminated. That's so funny, dude. It's like a fucking. I'm trying to think of another one.
Yeah, I think they were like all living on top of the Niagara Falls, and then we just kicked them out and put like a Ferris wheel.
You put them in
tilted
barrels.
Yeah,
And just
stomped them out of the boat.
just pushed them over the edge. We just really moved them like 11 miles away from the falls, and now they sell cigarettes.
Classic.
Cheap cigs, though. You get a pack of Senecas for $2.50.
Are they able to do like tax-free reservation? They
Yeah.
have weird like native reservations are like the Vatican. It's like a state within a state. Like they have like their own courts and laws.
Yeah.
That's where never get hurt in a casino because you can't sue because it goes to tribal court and then they're like, yeah, so just
Tribal court.
yeah.
If the sun is blue tomorrow, if the wolves howl at what is tribal court?
You owe Mrs. McGillicuddy 3 sacks of berries.
Pray to the elders for forgiveness for what you've done to us. Yeah, so if a slot machine falls on you, you just have to go see Blackfoot, and then they're like, apologize to the slot machine. You owe us a new...
Yes.
Yeah, you broke
Carve
the
a
handle.
shrine of the victim into the north side of the wall.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, no.
I'd love to be the tribal judge.
to be the chief.
Yeah.
You just smoking a big peace pipe.
We have res
Guilty.
cars. They have res cars. So no plates, and it'll be like an axle with just the driver's seat and a steering wheel. It's like a guy has just driven his car until it's down to the pure skeleton of the car. Like the minimum amount of car parts that you need to
exist?
literally drive a car for it to exist as a car.
It's like the Johnny Cash song, how he like built a Cadillac out of like the old parts at the factory.
Yeah,
They're just throwing
Yes.
together. Just
Yeah, he
like,
just took one.
just
No.
a Crown Vic tire and like an F-150.
Dude, it's like 4 wheels, an axle, and like a lazy boy. And
So
like,
these are just on the reservation?
Yeah,
people
they drive
cruising them?
around,
And then
no
kind of
plates.
go
Yeah.
carts for the
Yeah.
reservation kind of thing.
They're just like they know if they don't drive them off the res, they're fine.
Yeah, that makes
There's
sense.
no cops on the res. So you could just drive them around. You could drive around a fucking moving chair.
Yeah, when I grew up in Alaska, like it was like a large. So there's the Coast Guard base there. That's like my dad was in the Coast Guard, so like we were there, and that's where like the deadliest catch go. They go out like the crab fishermen. So there's
Okay.
like the fishing community, and then the cannery. All the Filipino immigrants come in to work at the cannery, and then you have the natives that live there. And fucking Pitbull got exiled there one time. So,
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, so Walmart was doing a competition. They're like, okay, so whichever Walmart gets the most likes, Pitbull will go visit and do a concert in your city. And then 4chan were trying to troll him. So they're like, we're going to send him to the most remote Walmart in all of the country. And that's where we lived. So everybody was just liking the Kodiak, Alaska Walmart. And then Pitbull came there, and he got like a key to the city. Like the mayor, like they did like a Native American powwow to induct Pitbull as
That's
like a
so
traditional tribal. Yeah, they had everyone in like the headsresses, like
That's
the bongos and
amazing.
shit. And then fucking Mr. 305 was just there in like an Armani suit. He's just like kissing little Native babies. Like,
Dude, shouts out to Mr. 305.
dude, Pitbull is a king.
Yeah.
he
Mr.
followed
World
through.
Dale,
He's like the
dude.
nicest guy ever.
Fucking Dale. That's
So if you
hilarious.
go to the Walmart in Alaska, there's a framed picture of Pitbull right next to a taxidermied grizzly bear. There's a
Whoa.
so it looks like Pitbull was killed by the grizzly bear. It looks like a memorial for Mr. 305.
Dude, that's wild. Yeah, you grew. How much time did you spend in Kodiak?
So I was born there, and then I moved away when I was like a little baby, and then I went back from like 2006 to like 2010.
Yeah,
I think so.
like
Just like
10
the
to 14.
Yeah, prime like childhood years. So that was like
Middle school.
Yeah, 3rd grade to like halfway through 7th grade.
How
Then we
far
had to go to
north is
Florida.
Kodiak?
It's the south part of Alaska.
Okay.
So you know the people in Minnesota that do the little hand thing?
Yeah.
Like this. You could do that with like, you know,
Alaska.
that's
Yeah.
Alaska. So it's a little island like right here.
Kind of near
Okay,
Juneau.
it's an island.
Yeah. So it was an island.
shit.
So it wasn't that cold. Actually,
Really?
because it has like kind of like the sea. I mean, it's still cold as fucking Alaska,
Yeah.
but it's like as compared to like Central Alaska, like Fairbanks or whatever,
Yeah.
where it's like
Negative a million.
yeah, this was like
Yeah.
it's not that hot in the summer, it's not that cold in the winter,
Okay.
and not that cold in the winter is still like 0, but
Yeah.
you know,
That's
not crazy
doable.
negatives. Yeah,
Yeah, negatives is where it gets fucked.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, 0. I
your
could
eyes
probably
hurt.
Yeah.
live.
It's so cold,
Yeah.
your skin hurts.
Dude,
when
I
you go
saw
outside.
like a guy, like, I forget where he was. I think northern Alaska or like maybe the Yukon or whatever the fuck. And he was saying that he can tell, like, how can you even tell the difference between like -20 and -40? Like, can you even notice that? And he's like, oh yeah, like it's like actually pretty serious once you get like past -30 or whatever. And then he did this thing where how quickly his breath froze.
Yeah,
So he breathes out like, and then there's a little delay, and you're like literally it turning into ice.
Yeah.
And then when it's -40, it goes like it's like louder. There's
you could
more
spit,
crystals.
It turns into ice.
Literally,
it's
like more
shit
crystals,
like
and I'm like, that sucks. So
Even
much
in Buffalo, you could feel if you're outside for long enough, if it's cold long enough, you could feel your like nostrils freezing, the inside of them, you can feel them getting like stiff in there. Mm-hmm. Like if you have like a runny nose.
Oh my god, dude! Fuck that.
It's horrible.
I'm a Florida boy.
That feeling of when you go inside and your legs still hurt for another like 25 minutes, like the cold.
Oh,
you have to thaw. You have to like thaw out.
Yeah, we used to have the little hand warmers you'd like put in your pockets. You had those with you with boot dryers. And your feet are fucking soaked.
Oh, dude, wet feet in the fucking zero.
Dude, I called my Alaska buddy the other day because I did that video and they got like a big reception or whatever, and then Lance Bangs, some guy on the production side of Jackass, reached out to me. Yeah. So I messaged him. I'm like, dude, you have no idea how much Jackass meant to me as a kid. Like I had to wear an athletic cup in elementary school every day because this is the constant threat of getting punched in the balls. Our entire class had to wear cups, and I was like, the best summers of my life were just pushing each other in shopping carts, into curves. Yeah. Dude, it's so much fun. So I messaged that kid. We used to like play Jackass. So I was like, "Oh, dude, check this out." And we were just like reminiscing. I'm like, "Oh man, whatever happened to that guy?" Then he's like, "Oh, fuck that guy. He's a fucking pedophile." And I'm like, "Oh." No. And then I just got the rundown of all my childhood friends. I'm like, "What about that guy? He's dead." I'm like, "Oh no, what happened to his cousin? Dead pedophile." No. Oh my god. Just the kids aren't all right fucking intro song.
Oh, brutal.
All my friends are dead and pedophiles.
All my friends are dead. They like to fuck kids. All my friends are dead. Yeah, that's None of my friends are dead or pedophiles.
You're really
none of them?
No.
Did you have dead kids go to your school?
The undead zombies.
Well, did you have like a class dead kid, like they name a swimming pool after him?
Like where he drowned? Something really disrespectful. Yeah. He knocked his head on the diving board, and they're like, "This is now the Carlos Cruz diving board." No, not really. No one major. I mean, someone who went to my high school is gonna be like, "Dude, Stan Williams, fucking laid up by a car."
I remember they only started like devoting areas of the fucking town of the school to like one kid that died. We knew a bunch of kids that died, but one kid got really a nice reception for his death.
Was he like the first kid?
I didn't really know him.
By the second dead kid, they're like,
that might have been it.
Copycat.
Also,
over it.
My buddies were like, yeah, he sucked. Like, I didn't know him that well. My buddies were like, he kind of sucked. And I'm like, really? They're like, he's just like a dork. I don't know. He was kind of like, they didn't like him. And I was like, maybe he was like a teacher's pet. Kind of like everyone's mom liked him. Like, I think he was the nice kid that died.
Maybe he's like you all thought he was a lame loser. And he's like, yeah, he fucking tucked in his shirt and did his homework.
Yes. I think that's actually what happened. I think
ate all his vegetables, helped Granny's get off the street. He was a pussy.
Bitch.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I played football with a kid who ended up dying.
How'd he die?
Pee-wee football.
From Pee-wee football?
No, not from Pee-wee football. No, I think he died from a gunshot.
Yeah.
He killed himself?
No.
He got killed?
Yeah, he got killed.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a kid playing with gun death. A kid shot another kid.
On accident? You did I dicked him?
Yeah, so, kind of did I dicked him. So they're like, this was right after I moved, so it was like 7th grade. And this kid was younger, too. I think he was like 6th grade. But like he was like playing with a gun. Like he had like a .22 rifle. And then some kid was coming over to like buy weed or something. And then like he was pointing the gun at him like, I'm not going to shoot you, you fuck. Poop! And then it fucking goes off, and then it shoots him in the head. And then this was just like in his driveway. And then my other friend was like walking by and like knew those kids. And then like he saw it, and then the kid that shot him panicked and was like, "Help me move the body." And then my friend fucking freaked out. He just like ran away. Yeah. But then that kid, I think he just got out of juvie or probation or whatever.
Like when he was 18 or something.
Yeah, because it was there for a while. But
yeah, probably. For the best.
Yeah, so it was our town tragedy.
That's brutal.
Kid drowned in a lake, too. Got one of them.
One of my dad's buddies killed the other one on accident.
Oh, God.
They were, like, drunk fucking around with a gun.
What is this? Yeah. God damn, that sucks.
First rule of gun safety. You gotta have fun.
Number one, have fun. Mm-hmm. Have you still... Oh, yeah, he went hunting.
I went hunting. I shot a gun for the first time.
I never shot a gun.
I didn't get any pigs, but I did shoot a gun.
Oh, you went like Texas, like the The helicopter hunting?
No, it was like, I wish it was the helicopter, dude. That sounds easy as hell.
Yeah, got a turret.
I kind of thought that was going to be an option, and it wasn't.
Fortunate sons.
What do you have, like shotguns or rifles? Or what?
Yeah, hunting rifles. This is my girlfriend's dad and his friends. So they brought these like big, heavy-duty rifles, and we were up in the blinds. And like, I literally only shot one time. Yeah, I fired off one round. I mean, at the range, they had a range on the ranch.
Did you shoot on the range?
Yeah, I fired off like 50 rounds there. It was awesome. But that was more fun.
Kind of more fun.
Dude, way more
I don't really care that much about killing a pig.
Me neither.
I'd rather hit a target.
Hunting stinks.
And you can shoot it over and over again, whereas hunting, you sit still for 12. You ever go hunting?
I never went hunting.
Dude,
we played with guns all the time, but we never went hunting.
Bro, playing with guns is way more fun.
Yeah.
You sit in the blinds
That's
for
what
4
they're
hours.
for. They're for fun.
They are quite fun.
To play.
Pigs are like brilliant animals.
Yeah.
So they by the second day, they knew when we were going to be there. And they knew, they like didn't fall. There was a feeder drop
like,
stuff.
Yeah, don't go there.
They're trying to tap like "Save Me" and sign.
Morse code. They're all talking to each other.
There's pig subtitles.
Yeah.
They're blinking Morse code like that guy.
Yeah, Lauren's uncle has like some property like near like the border in Texas. They keep being like, "Oh yeah, you should come down to the property." And I went to the property, man. It's fucking. So they have like a
You already went there?
Yeah, I went there with her parents when they came down to visit. They have like this thing that like dispenses a bunch of like feed corn, and like the deers are there. And then it's like they're just feeding these deers for like months on end.
Yeah.
So it's basically your pet deer
Your
at this
Pavlovian,
point.
yeah.
And then it's like they have like a little hot tub, and then they'll just be sitting in the back. They're like, it's the day. And then they just grab the gun from the hot tub and just dome the deer from like 50 yards away. It's like, was that hunting
That's
at that
not really
point?
hunting.
That doesn't
Literally
feel like hunting.
exactly what you described. One of the hunting guys did that. He was like sitting in the pool.
That's
and
bait.
He just grabbed the gun and just fucking blew the pig's head off.
You could have just asked the deer nicely to come over and then just
at this
slit
point,
its
you
throat.
could've
Like, they're
just
so trusting.
Put corn in your hand.
Yeah,
I feel like the stalking part is like the cool part of hunting, where you're like tracking it, you're putting your ear to the ground,
yeah,
so
Native
I'm
American
sniffing deer
style.
shit.
I wanted to do a bit about this because, but I kind of feel bad about getting the people in trouble. I didn't say the fucking name of the place, but like, you know, the whole time they're telling me like, you know, hunting is about skill and like, you know, you're out in nature. It's about feeling nature, feeling the breeze, learning the animal, respecting the animal. Cut to like day 4 and like some people aren't getting anything. They just trapped a pig and then the guy killed it with a 44 Magnum.
Yeah.
Like, dude, killed it back of the head like Pesci and Goodfellas. just fucking literally took it out. And I'm like, it's how quickly it turns from like, it's about learning the way of the animal and respecting it. And then cut to like 3 days later, like, we got a raccoon in a mailbox. We're gonna bait it with a hammer. If you want to, we're gonna hit this pig with a mallet. We got it stuck
a
under
mouse in a baseball bat. If you
yeah, we're gonna run this fucking deer over with my truck.
You're bowling with the bumpers up.
Yeah,
yeah, big time.
Dude, they just,
Yeah, I mean, there should be a decent chance.
Point blank execution style.
There should be a good chance you don't get anything. You know?
Yeah.
There is a good chance you don't get anything, but that blows. Then you're wasting your time.
I guess, but you can't have it both ways, right?
It's called fishing, not catching.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
That's what I mean. About fishing, you could just skunk, and it's like not a, it's not a big deal.
At least you're on a boat.
Dude, you're on a boat.
Yes.
A deer blind. It's a fucking... You're
Dude,
in a,
you're in a
shack
treehouse
in
with
woods.
another grown man. Just
Yeah.
sitting there going, you got any
well.
kids? Like, literally. I'm small talking with like my girlfriend's dad's friends. I'm like, you got any kids? He's like, yeah, they're grown now.
Yeah. We should go fishing again.
Fishing's
Wherever in
more fun.
Florida together.
On
all of
par
us.
with
Shooting
fishing.
guns rules.
I love
like the
fishing.
gun.
Yeah, and I don't lose any sleep over killing fish.
We got to a point last time we went
Oh,
fishing.
dude, remember the massacre of the tuna?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, we were on the boat, and then there was like a school of they're like the mahi-mahi, the dolphin.
Yeah.
So it's like they come in like big frenzies, and then what they do, you have one person with the line, you hook one, and then you have a second person, you grab it, you hook another one, and while there's a hook in the water, they stay in that feeding frenzy because they think there's a fish around.
Yeah, yeah,
So you
so they
keep
keep-
alternating. You
Yeah.
do line, and you
Yeah.
have to leave one in, and. Oh my god, the rape of Nanking. Killed fucking like 40 mahi-mahi.
Dude, the mahi who survived were like, remember the fringe.
Yeah.
There was only one mahi left. They weren't even the mahi-mahi
Well, you
anymore.
know the thing about them is that they are really easy to introduce. So they basically stock like the ocean with them. Like they're extremely easy to like not farm, but like make, reproduce, and they fuck like rabbits. There's a million mahi-mahi. Yeah. So there's no size limit. They have huge schools. So you're really not doing even a dent in their population.
I started to feel weird about it.
Yeah, I know,
like,
but
this is a lot. And then the one guy fucked it up. He pulled out his line too fast, and the captain was just smoking a cigarette. He goes, "Fucking amateur." Yeah, like that's the coolest guy I ever seen.
That guy was a scary motherfucker. Yeah. Captain
he rules.
Peter.
I love
that guy's a motherfucker.
Dude, I thought I would feel worse. Like, you know, being from New York and stuff, I thought I'd feel worse about the killing of the animals. But when you see being gay and stuff, you know, fucking being trains or whatnot.
Read books and all that.
But reading all the
fingers up your ass.
Books,
reading GQ magazine,
sucking guys off. Dude, but once you see that the pigs are hideous, honestly.
Oh, they're not the cute babe.
You start to realize, dude, pretty privilege applies to animals as well.
Oh,
you look
for
at
sure.
the pigs and you're like, these things are fucking ugly, and I don't care that we're killing them.
The wild boars are quite hideous.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is. Like, I guess it's they look less babyish. Like a rabbit has like big eyes and like little ears and whatever.
Yeah, but the hogs have like shitty goatees.
Oh,
like, they have like incel facial hair. Like,
dude, no, they look like bikers.
Yeah, they all look like Dave Navarro,
who I also don't care about killing.
They have tattoos.
Yeah. They look like they live in Homosassa, Florida.
Yeah, they look like Sons of Anarchy cast members. They're disgusting.
And they're on a billboard that says "No rap, no crap."
Dude, that's the Boss Hog Radio.
Yeah,
dude.
Boss Hog Radio.
I pass that every time I go.
It's got sunglasses on, just the meanest looking pig you ever seen.
It's like no rap, no crap, no blacks, no Jews. You're like, okay. Wonder what this is about.
Yeah, but the cows, you were telling me the cows are dumb. And
cows are pretty fucking
Cows
stupid.
are retarded, but the cows are cute, man.
Oh, a fluffy cow?
Cows are cute.
Fluffy cows
even the cows
heart.
on the ranch were cute, and I was like, I would feel bad about killing one of these.
A calf, yeah, but I don't know, dude. I mean, you see one of those milking cows, there's nothing fucking there. And they're covered in flies and dirt. They're pretty gnarly. Flies love them for some reason.
The boars are so fucking
ugly,
ugly,
You ever see them put water onto themselves?
No, I haven't.
So they, like, to get the flies off them, they go to the bucket of water and go and spit all over themselves. Because the flies don't like the water.
Dude, they act like stoners. Like, we'd be driving these, like, side-by-sides, these fucking heavy-duty ATVs at them, and the cows are just in the pathway. And at the last second, they would just notice, and they'd be like, oh, fuck, oh, shit.
Yeah,
and
they
just,
got
like,
really
slowly
slow
get out of the way.
time.
That's the part that I like, the ATV part.
Yeah.
I just want to ride ATVs.
Yeah, let's just hit some fucking jumps.
That's it itself.
The guns are sick. I liked shooting it. I like the, like, not powerful ones. The hunting rifles are overkill, dude. They're so loud.
Yeah, it's a massive explosion.
One crazy loud, gunshot at a time. I like a Ruger 1022. You're just like, I want the like school shooter gun.
Yeah, we shot the AR-15.
Yeah,
that thing's unbelievable.
Yeah, I could have gone to prison for that because I brought my fucking.
I don't know. I don't know what the statute of limitations on this.
Well, it's not there anymore. Anyway, so this is hypothetical.
I prefer the Nicholas Cruz model.
No, our friend did this.
Yeah. So my friend, not me, had borrowed his brother's gun from Alaska to go shooting, and then we get to the range. They like inspect him beforehand, and then they're like, "What is that?" I'm like, "A gun? I don't know fucking shit." Yeah. And then he goes, "Oh, you can't have that stock," because this was like a short barrel rifle, and because it had like the brace on the back, it's like, "Oh yeah, you can go to federal prison for like 5 years."
What?
It was like a bit. Like I looked it up online. I'm like, "Oh, that wasn't like a fine. That was like you cannot have that gun." It was in I can't remember where my friend said it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but then they just grabbed a screwdriver. They just hooked us up because they're like, "Fuck the ATF," and they just took it off.
I don't think there's many laws here because these guys had homemade guns. They were just like Frankensteining guns together.
Yeah, you can get like weird permits to do stuff. They probably had like fully
it's like
automatic.
A business,
shit.
They probably had every single permit. You
right now, there are
have.
businesses here where you can just like shoot a fucking
but they like
grenade
just
launcher.
changed the law because it was like legal when he had it and it was legal in Alaska, and then it's like within that month or something they made it so you couldn't have like a brace, but you could still have the pipe. They're all very stupid, like the ATF laws. They're like, oh, if you take this off this little piece of plastic, now it's technically a pistol.
Yeah,
There's a water gun now.
That's
like,
exactly what happens. Yeah, especially with those like ARs, it's like they do shoot pistol rounds. Like I don't know what the technicalities are, but we shot those and we shot pistols, and the difference was stark. Like it's
you could just drill anything with the rifle. It's so
and then
accurate.
the way it absorbs like recoil so perfectly.
Yeah,
and versus like if you're holding like another friend of ours had like kind of a small pistol like. Quite a small pistol.
I can't shoot for shit with a pistol.
Yeah,
I'm really bad at it.
Yeah, I thought, well, there was another I think someone had a Glock, and that was
mine. I think.
Yeah, I think that was yours, and that was nice. Mm-hmm. And then someone had a smaller pistol that I thought was like way harder to shoot because it felt like it just didn't absorb anything.
Kicking back,
it was kicking hard. Yeah, and it jammed a few times.
This thing had a silencer on it, so it was like.
Oh, those are because way too loud.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, silencers.
The silencer was awesome. Yeah, the hunting rifle was like. Dude, it was like the Burr bit about when his ears were ringing. That happened to me like 4 times. I was never prepared.
You had earplugs in though, right?
I had earplugs in. Dude, it's still loud. It was still making my ears ring.
Yeah, no, I mean, even at the gun range, you put those big old things on. It's still fucking loud in there. Do you remember those fucking Chinese tourists?
I was just about to say, the Chinese guys were going nuts.
Dude, the Chinese tourists had the fucking... what's the ones the rappers all talk about? The semi-auto shotgun.
Oh, I think he had like the AA-12 from like Call of Duty.
Dude, it was like a big. It had the big fucking. It had the big circle clip.
Nice.
Oh, it had like the drum mag. I think they had an Uzi.
Is that a Draco?
It might have been.
I think it was. They were. Dude, I swear these Chinese people had Dracos.
Yeah, it was just Chinese businessmen just fucking having the time of their lives in Florida.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'll just like, you can't smoke in here, Ling.
They're playing Baccarat on the
gun. Dude, because it was a shotgun. It was, I believe, I don't know enough, but
it was like a semi-automatic shotgun.
Dude, it was a
yeah. Okay, I remember that now.
Fast.
Yeah,
and they were loving life.
Dude, it was the loudest gun I've ever heard, ever. And they were just blasting targets with a semi-automatic shotgun, taking turns on it. It was like bang, bang, bang. Like our pistols sounded like pew, pew, like by comparison. But they were loving rife, and they were loving rife. Dude, and they also had an automatic weapon, I think, at one point too.
Yeah,
I think they shot an M16 or.
Yeah, I think they were just renting just all the top shelf, the Grey Goose vodka, whatever,
of the best
range
stuff
guns.
That's nice. You could just rent some sick guns.
Dude, if you want to drop like $2,000 at the range, you can.
Yeah, you can go nuts.
Yeah, you can just like you can
get an arsenal.
Yeah, you can like here throw a grenade at that old car if you want.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you want to do.
I got bullet girls just walking by with a big tray.
Is it getting a massage while you're shooting Draco? Dude, that was my buddy Fuzzy. He has like he got Kia Boyd.
Yeah.
Do you know about this?
Yeah, he got rid of his car.
Yeah. He got rid of it?
Yeah, he got rid of it.
Oh, that's funny because he was telling me.
Did he do what? Yeah, what?
No, because he told me, he was like, there's a place in Texas you can rent a rocket launcher. And he's like, I want to drive this fucking Kia that's caused me hell. It's been stolen 12 times. I want to fucking hit it with a rocket launcher. I'm like, that's the best plan I've ever heard.
That's got to be so cathartic.
He probably sold it for like $1.
Dude, people should start booby trapping their Kias.
Yeah.
Yeah. Booby trap them, dude.
I mean, what do you...
Ejecto seat in it?
Yeah.
Ejecto seat.
Whoopee cushion on the seat.
Yeah. That's it. They just get embarrassed. Like, I don't even... This is supposed to be cool.
Oh, come on.
Oh, man, the girls saw me. They got farted. Shit.
Replace the airbag with slime. Just slime them.
Just petty crimes.
Yeah, just go Teen Choice Awards on the carjackers.
That just reminded me of... You remember I was telling you about my dirtbag friend in like high school? We used to smash mailboxes.
Yeah.
It was this kid that was like a class below us, and we were smashing mailboxes with him. And then he just hated his girlfriend, so like they were dating, and then she let him borrow her car, and then he's driving around with us, and he's just holding like the windshield wiper like spray thing, and he's holding it for like 15 minutes, just laughing. He's going, "Fucking dumb bitch!" Like just depleting
his idea of
all of the wiper fluid. He's like,
what
fucking
an asshole.
idiot. I know, he was such a piece of shit. Tony Polio.
Yeah, Tony Polio.
Old Tony Polio.
Dude, he sounds like a mobster with a limp.
Tony Polio. Hey, it's Tony Polio.
Hey, it's Tony Polio. He's only got one leg. He's been dying long.
Yeah. He was on acid when we were like smashing mailboxes, and then he smashed one mailbox. Then he immediately got a phone call. Some girl's like, "Tony, did you just smash my fucking mailbox?" He's like, "What? No, that wasn't me. What are you talking about? I'm at home." And we're just
it's me, Tony Polio.
Yeah, everybody was there. Me, Tony Polio, Typhoid Tommy.
And that must have been like the 5th time he's done it to that girl. That she just hears the sound from outside. She's like, "Fucking Tony Polio,
that son of a goddamn bitch."
Destroyed my mailbox.
God, that's so funny.
Yeah, I don't know why. You know, because we're all fairly normal, young, bright men, huh? Why were we attracted to such
petty vandalism?
Such filth.
Was so good.
It was great. Yeah, we used to smash mailboxes.
Yeah, we used to get bottle rockets, so we would drive by Walmart, and when those automatic doors would open, we'd shoot the bottle rockets into Walmart. So we would time it and like thread the needle. Then because it's like that echoey like tile is like boom. It was the loudest fucking bang. Just petty domestic terrorism.
Is that the Pipple Walmart?
No, this was in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We used to have Roman candle wars.
Oh, those were fun.
Yeah. You did that.
Dude, my cousin got nailed by a fucking mortar one time. Because my uncle, he went all out for like 4th of July. This was in Iowa. And then it's like my grandma's like small like farmhouse or whatever. Like all the neighbors like gather in our cornfield to watch him. And then they set off like the grand finale, like the big one. And then he lit it. And then his foot knocked it over when he was running away. So they were pointed at the crowd. Like there were like 50 people there. Just went, just fucking flying. A bunch of old people were like trying to like shuffle behind the barn. And then my other uncle was like a fucking military veteran. He didn't move. He was just sitting there laughing. It was the most demented, like they were just whizzing by him. He was the only one that didn't move from his chair for some reason. He was just sitting
big
there.
dogging it?
Yeah, he was just big dogging it. Just went, just zipping right by him. My cousin had on like a white, like nice sweater. A mortar just hit her in the chest. There was like a big charred like circle. Like just drilled her.
Damn. That's brutal.
Yeah, I used to love fireworks. You're never a big fireworks kid.
No.
Oh,
you were more like a pyro.
Yeah,
so was I. I was obsessed with fire.
Yeah, when you found out that you could make the flamethrower out of the axe
Oh,
box.
yeah, that was big.
Dude, we used to light our friends on fire all the time. So, like, we'd be on the bus or something. We would spray, like, hairspray or Axe body spray in their pants. We'd light them on fire and then just wait for them to notice. So, like, my friend would just be talking to a girl. We just light him on fire. And then he's just like, what? And then, like, slap it out.
You guys are sick.
I was telling someone the other day about how when we would get drunk, people would just burn each other with cigarettes as like a goof. Like my buddy Dylan would just walk up behind you and go, like just burn you with his cigarette, and it's like everybody had permanent burns. Yeah, they would just burn. They're just burning each other's skin. Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing that guy had a perfectly circular scar on his wrist.
Yeah.
And I go, what the fuck is that? And he goes, we used to put out cigarettes on each other. This is a non, this is a common move.
Yeah, me and my friend were hanging out in the woods one time. Like, there's this place where you, like, jump BMX bikes. It was called, like, Ash Falls. This was in Alaska. And then, like, kids, like, made these, like, jumps with, like, shovel, like, really good, like, dirt jumps for, like, bicycles. And we were hanging out there. Then there was an older kid there that we met. And then he's like, you guys know how to siphon gasoline from a car? And we're like, no. Then he goes, you want to see how? I'm like, yes. So then we went to like the nearest house. Then he had like this rubber hose with us, and he opened up some guy's like old Jeep and then like sucked out the gasoline into a can. Then we went into the woods and found a rope, and then we were playing Ghost Rider. Like we would soak the rope in gasoline, and then we'd whip the flaming rope. Like we would put gasoline on our shoes, light them on fire, and then run around. Dude, I love fire.
I'm Sonic.
Yeah, I'm so fast. I'm fucking burning off my fucking DC skate shoes.
I remember
she's come home with melted shoes. Like,
no, really.
What did you do?
Dude, all my clothes were burned. All of my fucking
Jesus.
Dude, I remember sledding with my cousin at like the ski resort. It's like a little ski resort near Buffalo where we used to go. And we just like decided to go really high up the hill with the sled, and we're flying down the hill, and we can't stop. And at the base of the hill is like the lodge, and it's kind of a nice evening. It's not too cold. So there's like a bunch of adults having like a cocktail party, like 200 adults having this big like cocktail party at the lodge. And we just like went past where we ever thought we could go, and then just flew off of these stone stairs onto the patio where they all were. And we're just like sliding across, like like sliding across. Like, there's like a bunch of people having like cosmopolitans, and we just come screeching across with a fucking sled.
That sounds
that
fun.
rules.
It was a great time.
No, I feel like I was too pussy. I was too Woody Allen coded to do any of these things. I'd be
Yeah.
like, fellas, we're gonna hurt our ankles.
Yeah, I was kind of like that about like rope swings or like anything where you're jumping from a high place. I would get kind of freaked out.
Yeah, that was our move.
I know I was always
that
Jumping
was
off
like
the
a-
roof of the school into the swimming pool.
Yeah,
breaking
this
in
was
at
like
night
a
and doing all
hobby.
that.
I had multiple friends where this was the hobby, and I was the fat child just looking up.
Yeah, you were the cameraman.
Yeah, I was definitely cameraman.
Guys, let's go before the cops come.
Yeah, dude,
You're
I was
that guy,
literally
yeah.
that kid. They were just like, okay, they're like, that's my neighbor's house. And I'm like, okay. And then they'd start walking towards it and just climb it and then jump off. I'm like, Is this an activity? Is just going to the neighbor's house and jumping off of it? One of my friends, he thought it was a prank. I guess it kind of is. He would stand on his roof and piss and shit into his neighbor's yard. It was also a funny prank he would do. He would go, look out the window, look at the window, and then he'd leave and he'd go out of his. We'd be in his room and he would shit off of his roof, so I'd see his poop just fly past the window. Yeah. It was also a funny, another funny thing. They had a frosted glass shower, and my friend would do this thing where he'd go like, "Hey, can you give me a towel?" or something like that, and I'd walk into the bathroom, and then he'd just press just his cock against the frosted glass. So he just sees only his cock and balls on the
Dude,
Dylan, like that's prime comedy. That's good stuff.
Dylan Carlino was telling me when he was in high school and he was trying to convince the other guys he wasn't gay. He would cause he only hung out with the girls, but when he had to be around the guys, he'd go, "Dude, they get naked right in front of me." He was like, "Dude, they change right in front of me. I see everything."
That does not help the gay allegations.
Yes, exactly.
Like, they're so trusting, just like, he ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an urban legend. I never saw it happen, but apparently my friend's older brother used to shit inside of condoms. Like, he pulled the condom open, and then he flung it at his teacher's house.
Oh!
It's a small town, you know where all the teachers live, so he would just fucking wing it like a
them at
water
the
balloon
house.
grenade. Yeah, just a turd.
Dude, that's fucking brutal. Yeah, I mean, if you saw like a teacher in the wild, it was kind of rare. I remember we were all having the same, like, we all got caught smoking weed, and then we scrambled out of the house like before they could really see what was up. Like, we were all stoned and weird, and like his dad came home early and we got the fuck out of there, and then we're all having like panic attacks, like, what's trouble, dude? And then we're watching Hunger Games, and we just went to the movies, and then sat next to us as our vice principal, and we're like, no! It was a horrible
Dude, my
day.
buddies got caught smoking down the block from school, like the morning of, and it was a Catholic school, so some just like pissed off teacher, like super religious guy, caught them. They were, dude, they thought they were just smoking in front of a random house, and it was the teacher's house.
Yeah.
They're just like on one of the teacher's front lawns, just, like, smoking a blunt, like 20 minutes before school, and he just like grabbed them by the collar and dragged them like 6 blocks to the school, and they got kicked out.
Yeah, there's a
They got
teacher.
expelled?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
I thought that was bullshit. It wasn't on the
seems
school
dramatic.
property.
It also seems
Yeah,
a bit
you're in a
dramatic.
safe zone. It's like,
Yeah.
you can
Break
arrest me if
laws
it's
on your
illegal,
own
but-
time.
Yeah, the principal broke up a fight one time. Like, after school, my friend Junior was going to fight this one kid, and then it was like a big like event. Like, everyone from the school was going to watch it. Like, they're going to go
best.
down to the park. So I was walking down this hill with like me and like 5 friends, and then there's just like 200 Filipino kids like down at the bottom. And then my friend was walking down, and then the principal rolled up in his car, and everyone goes, "Mr. Bryant." The kids just start scrambling like roaches, like jumping like over fences and shit, just
Wow.
full like scatter, like 300 kids in like every direction.
Little fucking
Dude.
freaky Lord of the Flies day.
Yeah.
Dude. Ours is all boys Catholic school. If 2 kids had like a beef with each other,
The
we would
after
go to-
school fight was a big event.
Unreal,
Yeah.
dude. We would go to Wilson Farms, which is like 7-Eleven, and it had a big parking lot down the street from the school, and like 200 kids would show up, and we'd be like standing on parking blocks, like literally like a scene from like Never Back Down, like a scene from like a shitty MMA street fight movie. And we'd just be like cheering like full Lord of the Flies, like animals. And I remember there was like a boutique fucking clothing store that was run by this lesbian couple, and they tried to come out and like break up the fight. They were like, "Come on, guys, this is stupid. Is this really what you want to do with your time?"
Yes,
like they thought
more than anything in the world.
they thought they were gonna shame us, and then everybody immediately was like, "Shut up, you fucking." it's like 200 high school kids like, "You fucking pussy eating." Just went full like brutal.
Yeah, you can't be
homophobia.
like a visual minority.
Yeah.
Like, if you say anything and you are that, they're gonna be like, "Fuck you, fucking
Yeah.
Chinese guy." You know,
Yeah, no, it was
whatever
like
you are.
Dude, I couldn't believe the balls. A fat lesbian walking out of her store to come break up a fight. I mean, there's 200 high school kids. Just
200
full of
boys.
cum.
Oh.
Just 200 kids who haven't busted a nut yet.
Dude, there was a false alarm one time. There was a fight at the Florida school. They walked down to the park. Same thing, like 100 kids there. And then somebody just got jumpy and yelled out like the principal's name or something. They go, oh shit! Then they scattered again. But the kids are older this time, so they had cars. There's some kid with like a piece of shit Camaro, and then they're in a gravel parking lot. He floors it, and then it kicks up this wall of gravel that's like 25 feet high. It just blasting all the girls with rocks. People just getting beamed, get fucked up more than the fight. Just getting like blasted.
Like a shotgun full of salt.
Yes, like big rocks too. It just nailing
That
them.
would suck. No, I feel like my school was too uppity white. Like it was
For the
all, like,
fights, yeah.
There were some fights, not a lot, and then like it wasn't an event. It would just be some like skirmish in the hallway, you know. And then all the trouble, all the drama was like, Katie got a DUI. It would be like a child. There was multiple child DUIs. We had a ton of those.
Life is over at that point. You can't fucking drive.
Yeah, I don't. I don't even know
brutal.
what would happen. I went to one party my whole life, and like all the kids got DUIs. Like they had to like they were like posted up. Like the cops were like posted up outside.
Yeah, they like knew just like, all right, there's underage drinking. Let's let them get behind the wheel
well,
first.
luckily I lived like this was like another kid's house. So like we lived close, so I could just walk. Just walked home. That's when I got drunk for the first time. It was amazing.
Yeah, I remember there was like a 27-year-old guy who worked at my shitty high school job during the summers, just selling tickets to the boat ride by Niagara Falls. And I always wondered like why he was there. He was like the manager, but he must have been making like $14 an hour. And then he just told me one time, he's like, I was coming home from a hockey game, flipped my car, got a DUI. He's like, yeah, man, I was going to go to college and I had a job lined up that all fell through. I had to start working to pay off the DUI. You know, it was like $20,000. He's like telling me this whole thing. He's like, so now I work here. It's not bad. And I was like, oh, I'll never drink and drive.
Yeah,
And then
If
totally
this
did.
guy's life is like, I'm
DUI
like,
is on
totally
par with
did.
teen pregnancy. For it's over, it's fucking over.
Yeah, it's super over.
life ruiner.
Early DUI will just wreck you.
I know a few people with DUIs are doing okay.
I had a friend
How
who got
early though? Because
No,
I feel
not
like
early.
once you're established, it's like,
Yeah.
I can figure out the bus system. I have
Yeah.
friends.
I could
but
do-
it's
well,
like getting the car.
A post-Uber DUI. A pre-Uber DUI?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dunzo.
I had a buddy get a DUI in his own driveway. The cop just
pulled because he followed him home.
Yeah, the cop followed him home, and it was his parents' driveway. And then he was like talking shit. He's like, "I made it fucking home, dude."
Yeah, I believe in
you.
home based
Like,
doctrine.
it's-
Yeah,
Like, I don't
that's
think
the home
that's-
based doctrine. You're safe. You made it. You can't hurt anyone else.
Yeah.
You get a freebie. Slap
Yeah,
on
it's
the
like
wrist.
fucking hide and seek.
Yeah.
No, I'm touching the couch.
This is my private domicile.
You go full Breaking Bad on that. Yeah, dude.
Dude,
Well,
we had local cops who like we knew from high school. We were like, yeah, why don't you send more dick pics to fucking chicks, dude? Like we'd be like talking. The cops would be like giving us shit. They were like 5 years older than us, so we knew them from like the neighborhood, and they would be like telling us that we had to get in their car or whatever, blah blah blah. We were like drunk in public, and we'd be like, why don't you creep on more chicks, Matt?
Matt, you fucking pedophile.
You know what's starting to annoy me immensely now? Cops younger than me. That have authority. It's like, you fucking dweeb.
Yeah, you
like,
dweeb.
I'll give you a swirly.
This is like how we're getting like dad core now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Just fucking punk.
I've been
with-
driving drunk since you were in tiny pants.
Yeah.
You don't know how I was driving drunk in 2011, you fucking piece of shit.
I've been pissing in public since you were in Pampers, boy.
I've been hanging out at playgrounds since you were on one. Yeah, dude. Do you know what you're gonna do for your next thing?
I'm doing one on military propaganda.
Okay, military
Nice.
stuff
So
for
I've
sure.
been
Yeah, 'cause
interviewing
the cop
Iraq
thing
war
reminded me. I
veterans.
didn't know if you wanted to.
You've been interviewing Iraq war veterans?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I just said that was the topic for the next thing, and a couple people reached out. So I've been
Yeah.
doing like Zoom calls with them.
Nice.
And just finding that out. It's very weird for the comedy essay. And then it's like, oh, this is gonna vary wildly in tone.
Yeah.
Like between like serious and not serious. So
I guess
Yeah,
I
make sure I do it
didn't
right.
think your first one was that like comedy centric though.
no, there's a
It's
couple
not
jokes
about
in
comedy,
there.
but it's
Yeah.
funny.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to be funny about military propaganda.
I'm gonna
It's
try
pretty
it.
funny.
I don't know. Michael Moore did it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
attempt
you're just
it.
like Michael Moore.
You're
Yeah.
just like Michael Moore.
Jarrett
You're
Moore.
exactly
Jarrett
like
Moore.
Michael
Papa
Moore.
Son of
Skinny
Michael Moore.
No.
Skinny, not lame, Michael Moore.
Big, fat, gay guy.
Dude, in my mind, Michael Moore is the size of like 8 or 9 Jarrett Moores.
He might be.
The
Yeah,
amount
the
of you
Jarrett
that
to Michael Moore conversion ratio.
you could fit
He's
like
probably
13 of
3
you
of me.
inside
Yeah, he
of
looks
me.
like
He's
you
probably
got-
non-ironically 3 of me.
Probably
'cause
got
I'm
all your nutrients in the
150.
womb.
He might be 450. He's a
He'd
big
be-
boy.
he's
He's
huge.
pushing it.
He's
Yeah.
Peter Griffin maxing.
Yeah, he's
like
Pete
he's
Griff.
the exact shape of Peter Griffin. Very rotund man.
I've only seen what's the Columbine?
Bowling for Columbine.
Bowling for
Yeah.
Columbine.
I like the little Marilyn Manson scene in there.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
don't
one.
know if I've seen any other part. I think I've only seen the Marilyn Manson part.
What would you say to the victims of Columbine?
Yeah,
Their
I would
fathers.
listen.
I wouldn't say
I would
anything. I would
listen.
listen.
It was
And
like,
then I'd
whoa.
suck my own cock.
I would take my ribs
And then I'd
out.
take one of my ribs out and suck my own cock. That's what I would do. And I'd
Sickos.
come in my own mouth and I'd swallow it.
If Dylan Klebold could suck his own dick, it wouldn't have gone down like that. We got to start taking the ribs out of all these potential school shooters.
You see a lonely
If they
kid,
can
dude?
suck their own dick, this tragedy could have been averted.
See that lonely kid in the corner at the cafeteria? You got to go up to him, take 2 of his ribs.
He will be so
Either,
preoccupied.
okay, you got 2 options: at-home surgery or just blow him.
Yeah.
Just do it for him.
That is the solution.
Teach a man to fish.
To
Yeah.
incel-driven school shootings.
Yeah, they just need a
Just
hobby,
rib
and if
removal.
you're not good at anything, maximize gooning potential.
Yeah.
Then you won't
I
have...
wonder. You
suck your own
think
dick.
it'd go down with all the gooning numbers?
Yeah, or they get so fucking rabid, like, they're fucking making me jerk off. I hate women
I
so
hate
much.
that.
There's the
I hate
Elliot
that.
Rogers
That happens
like,
all the time.
Yeah, just
It's like
like,
making me jerk off.
stop, you're
like,
so
"Ah!"
fucking sexy, I gotta kill you.
They're just like,
Yeah.
ah, oh no,
Yeah.
ah, God. It's fucking so dumb.
Did you ever see the footage of the Aurora, Colorado shooter? He's fucking nasty at Dance Dance Revolution.
James Holmes, yeah.
Yeah, there's footage of him in like a hoodie, just fucking
No, yeah.
like
No, he
tearing
was-
it up.
Dude, he was
Because-
Chinese level at Dance Dance.
No, he
DDR.
has a fucking superpower. He has some condition like where he can't feel pain.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got
so,
that one?
Yeah, so he had that whatever condition, like put your hand on a hot
Yeah,
stove,
yeah.
don't feel it. But he used his power to get diabolical at Dance Dance Revolution because his legs didn't get tired. So he was just a super soldier, just training in arcades.
Dude, he could have been our greatest.
He could have been fucking Jocko Willing. I mean, I'm sure him and David
Yeah,
Goggins
he could have been the next
if-
guy.
He could have
if
just gogged out.
Yeah, if he had a couple Vetfluencer podcasts, he could
Yeah.
he could have turned the
He could
tide.
have been the
of-
David Goggins of Dance Dance Revolution.
Dude, I haven't
You know
heard
what you
that
threw away, son?
Vetfluencer.
I've been getting deep into the Vetfluencers.
Oh, yeah, 'cause that's your new...
the
Oh,
next
like...
thing.
Is it
Yeah, so
kinda-
I've been
Oh,
studying
so it's
that.
like
You can
it's
talk
like
like
kind
Sean
of
Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sean Ryan, Tim Kennett, John McPhee is the one that like started this. Where I'm like,
Who's
this
John
man is
McPhee?
diabolical. He looks like Shrek. Like he's
he's
a
a
very
Shrek, okay.
goony looking guy. But it's very funny in there that like in like the Vetfluencer world is kind of like the comedy world too. So it's like there's like people talking shit on like the bigger guys or whatever.
There's like petty disagreements.
But here's the thing: they're not petty disagreements; they're over war crimes.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
So you know how there'd be like a shitty like local scene guy just like fucking Shane Gillis used a Chinese accent when he said noodles.
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's like yeah. So Jocko was the butcher of Beirut, and then they're just canceling them, and that's as far as it goes. It's not like a court martial. It's like oh yeah, he's being canceled for having like a necklace made of like Lebanese ears.
I thought they were trying to. Dude, my first thought was that they were trying to out war crime each other.
Well, that's also a scene too. That was a thing with like
Well, Tim Kennedy got called out for stolen valor.
Yeah, for saying he's in shit, he wasn't. And, like, the Chris Kyle, like, American Sniper guy, his was funny because he was just lying about war crimes he didn't even
About
commit.
sniping
Yeah,
people in New
Yeah,
Orleans.
sniping people in New Orleans during, like, Katrina.
Did he do that?
No, he did not do that.
He
But
definitely didn't.
no, because there's no there was nothing, like, there's not, like, a loose sniper. Because he said it was, like, a lot of people. He said he, like, sniped many people from the Superdome.
Where did-
Which did... And he, in his mind, that's, like, a cool thing to do. Like, so that's, like, a brag for him.
I mean, what a. I mean,
Yeah, he's just
What
so
an
out
idiot.
of it. And it's like...
So funny that's your, like, lie. Like, instead of being like, yeah, the threesome last night, he's like, yeah.
Yeah, with like that was like the status
I
symbol.
I killed 7 black people
So-
who lost
so
their
that-
homes.
yeah.
So that was a big controversy with Chris Kyle too, because there was a sniper because he has like the whatever most confirmed kills in like Navy SEAL whatever. So there's a guy before him and he knew what that number was. So the allegations were he was called like the Reaper of Ramadi. So he was like going out of his way to like engage people he shouldn't have. That way you can get like the kill count
Ugh.
higher.
A serial killer.
Yeah. So he's a serial killer. So there's a lot of allegations of him like shooting civilians or people he didn't really need to shoot just so he could pad like his Dance Dance Revolution stats.
Yeah, padding
He
his
wanted
stats.
to get what was CK on the top
Yeah.
of the
Yeah,
sniper
garbage
leaderboard.
time points.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so I don't know how deep into that stuff I'm going to get because it's like, how much work will it take to prove a war crime? Like, the amount of documents I'd have to
Yeah.
read to
Yeah.
not get sued, but those guys are talking about that, so I just think it's, you know,
Did you know you were going to do
Interesting
the
background.
first video for a while?
it took like 5 months to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started doing it in like December. Yeah, and that was just the one on like, like social media influencers and like grifting and that stuff. And it was just because I moved here to Texas in like the comedy scene, and it's like Lauren was gone at like school all day, so I just had nothing to do during the days. And then like if I go to a show at night, it's like, okay, well I only get to see my wife for like an hour a day. So if I'm at like a show, like I couldn't see, so I just needed to do some comedy thing like during daytime hours.
Yeah.
What part took the longest, the research or the filming?
But I just kind of like chipped away. I didn't think it would do like successful at all. So I was just sort of like doing it, and like it took like maybe like a month or month and a half to like write the script and then like go into like all the different like locations and stuff.
Yeah.
Editing takes forever because I had to find all those clips that I used. So I had to watch like full episodes to get like, like a 20-second clip or whatever. Like I had to just scour like a bunch of shit to like
if you didn't have a specific
those.
thing in mind, you're like...
Yeah, so I'm just having to watch like a ton of stuff, and I'm like, oh, that really proves that point right there.
Yeah,
and, like,
let me
that
clip
type
that
of thing.
out.
Yeah, you're also in a position where like it probably did so well because it's the production level is so high. Like you put so much effort into it, and it yielded results.
Yeah, so now I can't not do that again.
I know, because my head goes at like, how could you do them quicker? Like, my head goes to like, how could you put them out quicker?
I think I probably could have did it in like half the time if I treated it like a job.
Yeah.
Because I went on vacation a couple times. Like I would just fuck around. I'd just game for 3 days straight and like not do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you did it like
Because you're already
40
working on
hours
the
a
next
week-
one like pretty diligently. I mean, you've talked to me a good amount about it.
Yeah, it sucks. I
already.
just kind of gave myself like forever homework.
Yeah.
So it's like now I just have to read books all the time.
Yeah.
Because I just need like, quotes and sources and shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, there's a couple things I'm reading now. Yeah, I'm having to read this fucking book on Muhammad bin Salim, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I have to work backwards to prove that the Mandalay Bay shooting was a coup for the Saudi Arabian crown.
Yeah.
So I got to go backwards from there.
Do you want to
So
get
that's
into that, or do you want to save it for the thing?
I'll save that one for the thing, but I'm fairly convinced.
You're convinced it was a Saudi Arabian coup.
Yeah, I think
How does Paddock work in there?
so. I'll get into it in the thing. I'll tell you off the mic.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a thing that I've been working out.
Yeah.
Because there's so little information about Paddock
Yeah.
Well,
compared
Paddock
to
was
most
like-
mass shooters.
He was also the thing about Paddock is that he was obsessed with the royal family.
Really?
No, I just made that up. No, he was really
He's
into
big
the
Meghan
Saudi-
Markle.
Yeah, he loved any royal family.
Yeah, he loved Harry and Meghan.
Yeah, he liked the king
Big
of
fan.
Morocco.
Paddock and Thomas Matthew Crooks have the least backstory.
Yeah, Thomas
of
Matthew
any-
Crooks has just nothing.
Yeah,
Still
that's,
nothing.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, come on. Mm-hmm. This guy shoots the president, and like a month later, he's just like he didn't have an Instagram.
It's
Nah,
weird the people that
wasn't
go
into
so
it.
far
You're
on the Matthew Crooks thing, though, where they're like, oh, yeah, it was blood packs. It was a fake. Donald Trump used his WWE connections to use fake blood packs. They think like he didn't. Or they're even worse. They're like, oh, yeah, they had Thomas Crooks intentionally shoot him in the ear. We've shot guns.
way.
Nobody would ever risk. I don't care if it's fucking Chris Kyle. You're not shooting me in the fucking ear. You have that
You have to
much
be
room.
amazing.
It's not even. There's no one in the world that could. A moving target. He was moving his head
That's
like
why.
that.
That's why he got shot in the ears, because he looked left.
Yeah. So
'Cause he had a racist graft.
Yeah. So yeah.
That racist graft
Like,
saved
this
his life.
beautiful graph. I love this graph
Look
so
at this.
much.
Says 100% of Mexicans
As
are
you can
pieces of
see,
crap.
these
Yeah.
are fat Salvadorian pigs who are kicking out of the country.
I-
We're
I
gonna
was-
send them to prison, and then
I was just talking to someone a couple weeks ago that think that they was just shot by somebody on purpose. And
No.
it's a girl. So, that
I bet.
that's not how gun works.
No,
guns
I
don't
think-
work
yeah,
that way.
but then he fucking shot a guy right behind him and killed him.
Yeah, it's funny. There's the picture.
And he got off multiple shots.
There's a
didn't he?
picture of Donald Trump and then God's hand moving the bullet, and then the caption was, "This is a picture of God moving a bullet into a volunteer firefighter." It's like, yo, shout out Jesus. That's a
Shouts out
really
to the
really cool
Lord.
move on your part.
Moving a bullet into a volunteer fire.
That's so funny. Yeah, no, Crooks is one who's like, I don't know, dude. I mean, what do you think? It was just a CIA patsy whole
Definitely.
deal?
Yes, that's what. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not.
But okay, let me play devil's advocate, and in this case, the CIA is the devil. So wouldn't they just kind of obscure anything like that on purpose, just for the sake of obscuring it?
Obscure what?
like information that could lead to like the public understanding like who this guy is and why he did it.
Well, there's very little information.
That's what I mean. Like, but then
It's
you're
also
like
weird if the CIA like they didn't try it again. Like they're like, oh, all right, never mind then. Like they just gave up.
Yeah, they gave
like
up.
if it was this really big institution that's like,
That's
all
what
right,
I
this is
think,
the plan,
too.
just to give up after one.
Well, then they had that guy in the woods who was like watching
Oh,
golf.
yeah, I guess there was kind of a second,
But that was
try,
more
but that-
pathetic than the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like just in a golf course in like a fucking like bucket
Yeah.
hat, like
Yeah.
just like hanging out.
Ryan Ruth. That's what that guy.
Oh, that one.
That was
Ryan
the guy who
Ruth.
like loved the Ukraine and like
He
loved
was, like,
going
yeah,
I
on,
legit
like,
forgot about that.
he
one.
went on like
that's how
MSNBC to
insignificant
talk about
that was.
how much he
Yeah,
cries
maybe,
about
maybe
Ukraine.
it was tried twice.
I don't know. It's
I don't
tough
know.
to say.
I don't know anything about that really.
I also think like maybe you take one shot at that, you probably don't think you're gonna botch it.
Yeah,
if you're the
maybe-
CIA, you don't think you're gonna miss.
But you trust. I mean, just looking at like just the phrenology, like the shape of Matthew Crooks' head, he could not make that shot.
No.
He just doesn't.
But
His
he's
brain
just
is flat.
He's a born loser. There's
Yeah.
no way he was going to turn
the
it
thing
around
that,
right
like,
then.
the sloped roof thing, obviously, the
Yeah.
sloped roof explanation is hysterical.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
the
it's
video
bizarre.
of the snipers picking their heads up right when he fires.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, aren't they Secret Service snipers?
here's the thing,
they
though.
wouldn't just take if they
They
saw
blew
a guy.
him away in like 2 seconds right after.
Yeah, but after he got off 5 rounds.
I think you just have to be in such like a state of complacency. It's like the lifeguards at the
Yeah.
Olympics where you're watching Michael Phelps swim all day. You're like, I'm not gonna have to fucking do anything. You're like, oh shit, it's happening. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Like there's no way that they ever thought that would actually happen. They're like, oh, I get a nice day in the field. I don't have to do any cop work.
That's
today.
why everyone got mad at that fat lady who was in charge, right?
Yeah,
Cheadle.
that just has
Tim
to be
Cheadle?
like
Kim Cheadle.
Oh,
yeah. So
Don
Kim
Cheadle?
Cheadle,
Don Cheadle.
was-
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle, yeah. The whole thing was actually a Hotel Rwanda reenactment. Gone wrong, gone awry. It's kind of a community theater thing.
Thomas
got
Matthew
hammered.
Don
Crooks.
Cheadle on the grassy knoll.
Yeah.
Thomas Matthew Crooks was a what were the two groups? Fuck.
I don't
In-
remember.
in Hotel
Oh,
Rwanda?
I forget.
It's the Houthis and the I think they might be the Houthis.
Really?
I think there might be multiple Houthis.
Damn.
I
Or
could be
they're
wrong
just-
about this. Someone's like, they're not. They're the.
Yeah.
But the other option is that literally they were worried about putting Secret Service agents on a sloped roof, and they chose to pick their heads up inconveniently while he was firing rounds.
I
off.
also
he was also a
understand-
person of interest an hour before.
he had like fucking bombs in his goddamn trunk or whatever.
Dude, there's a video on the Wall Street Journal of just fucking hillbilly MAGA fans being like, "Who's that fucking guy on the roof?"
I've seen that
He's
one.
like,
Yeah,
he's like
yeah.
up there with the fucking sniper rifle.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way these.
He also had YouTuber gear on, which is very funny.
Yeah,
Who is he rocking?
a guy, a gun
guy,
YouTuber.
a gun
But
YouTuber.
like, a
What
guy-
was it like? Vlad TV, the Russian
No.
guy that like blows up the.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah,
Not Vlad
he, like
TV.
he shoots
Vlad-
like a tank at a water.
Yeah,
no-
Vlad
S-
TV's the guy who like
it's
interviews
FPS.
Charleston White.
You
Vlad
think of
TV would have got it done if the CIA
The
reached out to
FPS
Vlad.
Russia. is
Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
think of. FPS
Oh, not
Russia.
Vlad TV. FPS Russia.
FPS
If the
Russia.
CIA got FPS Russia,
Yeah,
just
he would've-
anti-tank.
They should have. The CIA should have hired Vlad TV. He would have had little.
Oh, Vlad
Reese.
TV's like he's like the pedophile hunter, right? He's
No,
Vlad
Vlad
He's
TV.
meeting little girl. Who's that
They're
guy?
interviews with like rappers and like fucking Godfrey and Little Duval.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like Black TMZ. Is
Yes,
like Vlad
it's
TV.
Black TMZ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm combining all these guys in my head.
Yeah,
No. all
there's a
all
lot of
these Russian
crossover.
adjacent.
No, Vlad TV's. He would have hired Chief Keef to shoot.
Yeah,
Trump.
he would have blown New Jersey up.
Yeah, he would have blown New Jersey up. We gonna blow Butler, Pennsylvania?
We gonna blow volunteer firemen up. That's my theory. I think Thomas Matthew Crooks hated volunteer firefighters.
Yeah.
He's on the side of the fire.
Yeah, no, he's like, we need the professionals.
Yeah.
No,
Have you liked preparing for this one as much as you like the last one, or do you like it more?
I'm still in pretty early stages. There's like a couple like funny segments I'm like right now, and like kind of like finishing up like an outline, and then just still doing like research and stuff. I think it's going to be good, but I'm still pretty early into it, and it's just like the response from this one that's been very preoccupying for like the
Yeah.
last week. Just like
Fucking Hasan watching it.
yeah, Hasan watching it, that was so funny. Yeah, what I saw somebody just commented just like, oh, Hasan's out. I'm like, no fucking way.
Yeah,
And
it's
I was
nuts.
just watching it live.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was exciting.
Yeah. He said you were a gay bitch.
Oh, no.
Did he? Yeah, he did say.
He said, I'm going to find this pipsqueak and give him a nugget.
Yeah.
He would beat me up.
He's going to give you a
Yeah,
wedge.
he's
so
gonna
strong.
put you in a chokehold.
Such a big man.
He's got a crazy build.
Yeah.
He's all shoulders.
Yeah.
He's so
Yeah,
broad.
he's got the
Big delts.
Venom build.
Yeah, he's broader than
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah.
Big old arms and wrap you up.
There's something about like streaming or being on the internet long enough where all of them sort of start to get a black scent. I noticed that when I was watching him react to your clip. Like, I think if you just
Is he black scenting?
a little bit, you gotta catch
I think
it.
it's just internet lingo.
Dude,
I think it's
this
just
is-
from being
Was he like,
in,
this shit's
like,
fire?
This is what I'm.
chats
It's all
and
like,
stuff.
yo, like
Well,
for real.
all internet stuff is black stuff.
Yes.
So like all the like the internet like
Not my internet.
not the Blaze.
I'll show
TV.
you some fucking websites I like.
Using just Stormfront lingo. Like what the fuck? Is
I don't even know this.
Just pull out my phone. It's a video of Nick
esoteric
Fuentes.
numbers. Yeah.
The black crime tab.
No, yeah, it's such a good point. Like all internet is black shit. Like I just if these dudes, like any of these streamers or YouTubers, they spend enough time on the internet, they all start getting a little like, yo, they get a little
Yeah, but like
swaggy.
TikTok comment lingo is like black stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what it just gets.
Dude,
integrated.
TikTok lingo is like gay guys started ripping off black ladies, and then then like white girls ripped off the gay guys, and then then it eventually gets to my girlfriend who starts to talk like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
So now
it's-
my like Latina girlfriend is talking like white chicks from TikTok who are talking like gay guys who ripped it off from black chicks.
Like it's giving.
Yeah, it's a combination of that
period.
pipeline and then just like acronyms and like texting lingo, like just shortening shit.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
just for that. It's like just a mix of those.
But have you noticed like every YouTuber, if you see like an interview with them, not Mr. Beast, but like most of any like Logan Paul, it's like, yo, bro, like for real, like that's my
Paul's
brother.
take on weird
Yo,
accents.
yo.
Like they're almost like vaguely like European or like like almost like Slavic lingo sometimes. Like they just sound bizarre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never heard them talk like Slavs.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of an example. Anyway.
I don't know. I don't watch them enough.
I just
thankfully.
noticed the swagginess.
Well, I think, dude. I mean, they're kind of like they've been,
But I told you,
they have neck tattoos and they rap and they box. It's like they want to be Puerto Rican, probably at least a
They
little
live
bit.
in Puerto Rico.
They live in Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
I mean, these guys love. Why do all the influencers live in Puerto Rico? Taxes.
No
No
taxes.
taxes.
It's taxes.
Did you? Yeah.
Like-
I mean, fuck these fucking
think-
fucking pigs, dude. They burn in hell for all.
I think there's
eternity.
like 4% federal taxes in Puerto Rico.
Compared, well,
I think like the Fed taxes
Is
are really
even
low
low.
there. Yeah.
yeah. So there's probably nothing's close to a state tax.
That's
and
so
then just
funny because Puerto
4%
Rico is not
flood
like a
tax.
gorgeous place. Like it's not like a like.
No,
they're
but
like-
if you're rich, you just make whatever you own into Los Angeles.
Yes.
Like they have enough.
Right,
like
right.
they probably
Great
have a
point.
compound. Like it.
There's
like
enough
they're-
like infrastructure there.
yeah, they have like a
to, like,
favela
pimp out.
surrounding them, and then they have like their own island or something. Like
Yes.
Yeah, that's what's
Near
like.
the
You ever see like
destitution.
I'm trying to remember these like tax haven countries, like
Monaco.
Monaco or
Monaco's-
Luxembourg or
Yeah.
something, and like it's basically
Cayman
like
Islands.
one large European town where there's no taxes and it's just like billionaires live.
Yeah.
And it's like I guess they're trying to Puerto Rico that. They're
Yeah,
trying to
and
just
then
make
if you have to
Puerto
be
Rico
there
that.
for taxes, it's like, oh, you have to have permanent residency somewhere for like 6 months. They say like 6 months in one day, and then they go to where shit's happening, like
Yeah.
like London, New York, Los Angeles,
Yeah.
wherever, and then they'll just go to those tax havens and just fucking be on the compound.
Dude, Newport,
sucks
Rhode
ass.
Island has like a ton of wealth there. Beautiful town. But it's a big yachting town. Massive yachts. Like Richard Penske from Penske Oil, like his yachts there.
Is that a tax haven too?
No, but they all have Cayman Islands flags on them. Every
Oh,
single
all
yacht.
their yachts are from the.
Every
these
single
people should
yacht.
be fucking.
Dude, you're in Rhode Island. You're in Rhode Island.
Okay, this is what I'll say. You can do that, but I get to punch you really hard in the face one time.
I like
Yeah,
that.
and that's applicable to every citizen.
Yeah.
If you see him, you get one.
get to punch him. Look, you can.
That's
take,
like the oil dividend in Alaska. Everyone's entitled to
Yes.
$2,000 a year. You just
Everyone's
get to
entitled
fucking
to
rock.
to
Legally
punch
kick you in the
Richard's
balls.
Yeah, I can kick Richard Penske in the balls one time.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, we went
Dude.
on
Dude, register your yacht out of the Cayman Islands, you fucking piece.
Every single one.
Yeah,
I'm talking like 300 yachts. Everyone with
no,
a
they
Cayman
need to be
Islands flag on them.
vandalized.
That's
I'm
what they
calling
do
on the no.
in the cruise industry too. None of those boats are like
Oh, yeah.
registered. Like we went on that one.
They're all
fucking
Filipino
cruise.
companies.
Yeah, because they don't have to abide by like minimum wage laws, so they get people from like Nepal or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you used to be a Sherpa, and then like the Carnival Cruise people come in, just like, how would you like to fold towels?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we'll pay you $2 an hour. and that's more than your entire family makes right now. You send $1 an hour back to them, and then you get to live on the boat so they have this weird slave economy.
What's
on
that
the
called
cruise
where you
ships.
send money back? Attrition, contrition. What is it?
I didn't know there's a word for it.
There's a word for it, but like there's certain economies like that. Like El Salvador was like a big one that they do that.
Well, I mean, they even do that with Mexico here.
Yeah.
People like
People send
money
money back
because it just goes so much further. It's like if you have an extra fucking $1,000 at the end of the year, it's like you can kind of chill in like a lot of places for $1,000.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Did anybody that you talked about in the video get pissed?
No, I was waiting for an Ed Bassmaster death threat, but it never came.
That story's unreal.
It was so funny.
That story's hilarious.
Of
you doing 37 minutes in between his
I did the whole
characters?
show. Then he didn't do a meet and greet afterwards either. He like hid in the green room. He was like, these people are freaks.
Yeah.
Like,
They're freaks?
Yeah, it was like his fans. And then I was just like, I was shaking all of their hands. Like it was just like, and I got
was
like $50.
laughing so hard when you were talking about the Andrew Dice Clay rip. I was just going, yo,
yeah, he had
we
a
gotta
leather
deal
jacket.
with Netflix.
He was flicking cigarettes at people. I'm like, this is just Dice.
You're just doing dice.
What is Ed Bassmaster? What does he do?
He was like an early like YouTube prank guy. Like you just go up to like just like hassle people at like a car dealership. Just like,
Gotcha.
how much does this one cost? And they're like, oh, well, he goes, wasting my time. And
Okay,
so he
gotcha.
was just like one of those like disrespect guys that just
Yeah.
sort of
he
fucks with
he had
people.
like one bit. That's the thing is like this guy had
There was a
one
couple
bit.
other characters I got. I was never like a big fan of
No.
him or anything. I'm like I was just vaguely familiar with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do the fans look like? This is what I'm wondering. Like, what is an Ed Bassmaster fan?
It's kind of white and
It
dumb.
was, they were pretty normal, and they were a good crowd, too. They wanted to have a good show. Like, I did really well. Like, it was, like, a fun show. They were just like, oh, there's a funny guy. I like him.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't, like, weird or anything. It was just a very normal.
Yeah,
whenever
it's
I
just
hear
a
about-
YouTube crowd.
It is
and-
funny seeing people's fan bases, like, when you go to, like, a comedy club. The one that sticks out to me is when Ryan Long did Side Splitters. The amount of 14-year-olds was crazy. It looked like a school field trip. Like, there was just, like, a weird...
Was it an all ages show?
Yeah, it must have been because it was like a mom bringing like a bunch of
they got a
kids to go see
chaperone?
like Ryan Long, which was very interesting. It's like nothing against Ryan Long. I just thought it was funny. I'm like, I've never seen this young of a crowd in like a legit comedy club before because he focused so heavily on like YouTube and stuff.
I guess that's
so
what
it's
it
like,
is.
Dude, when I was in Branson, Missouri, we my buddy and I went up to like a concession stand, and we were filming a YouTube video down there, so we like had the camera with us, and they were like these little like fuckboy. They're kind of like fuckboy redneck 16-year-olds who worked at the Branson fucking stand where you buy Gatorade, and they were like, "Yo, you do YouTube." Yo, Steven Crowder's the GOAT. Like,
no!
all of
Ironically?
them, they all loved Steven Crowder.
What year was this?
This is 4 years ago. 4 years
So
ago.
not that long ago.
No, it's probably 2022.
That guy fell off when he screamed at his wife or whatever he did.
Dude,
Oh,
he used to do
watch it. He did that when they're on the back. He goes, "Watch it."
Yeah.
to his wife.
He's got the
When he's
cigar.
going,
No, it was
he's going, you're not acting very wifely.
No, his extremely pregnant wife just blowing cigar smoke in her face. He goes, you can't take the car. What if I want to meet up with my boys? And she like wanted to go to the grocery store. He's like, you're gonna leave me here. What if I want to do something? And he makes like fucking like $30 million a year. It's like they could buy 2 cars, but it's that weird
Buy 2
control-
cars, take an Uber, shut up.
No, it's entirely for the control thing because he just wants her like like barefoot in the
Yeah,
kitchen,
yeah, he's a
whatever.
psycho.
It's like just controlling her mobility.
I think he's a closeted homosexual.
Yeah, I mean, every video of him is in like drag, or he's like in this weird like BDSM thing. He's spanking people, fucking dressed as
Yeah,
cows.
well, I heard a rumor about him making love to a trans prostitute.
I mean, I believe it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Just what I heard.
These guys are all obsessed with
Yeah, I
a
mean,
lot
they
of
talk
trans
about it
talk.
all day, every day.
It's bizarre. I'm like, they have
Yeah.
to want to fuck him, right?
It must be the only.
There's like 29 trans people in the country. And like, these
yeah, to
people
give
are
it that
talking-
much like mental real estate, like it has to be like beyond just like.
No, you're
the
thinking
grift
about
almost.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's clearly
It's
on
like-
your mind.
Yeah, but I
It's
don't
like
know.
there's definitely a dynamic like this makes a lot of money.
That's what
This
I
is a
think it
hot
is.
button issue, but then maybe you start that way, then you're like, I wonder what these fellas
Maybe
look
that
like.
snowball gets rolling.
Eat-
You know, well, it's
you
just it's just a fake issue. It's like it's like sports or women's sports.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Some of those guys, you meet them in real life, though, and they talk a lot about trans people.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people,
Like
it's like
red
you
pill
say,
guys?
like we've talked about this, like where you think like, yes, they are for sure grifting, but also like they drink the Kool-Aid.
So
like they are crazy. Like they believe this stuff. Like I think they are as crazy as they are like they're not string pullers. They're not doing a shtick. Like I bet Candace Owens believes most of what if not all of what she said.
So this is my take.
I believe you too, Candace. You beautiful. Hit me up.
Yeah.
Slide
through, Candace.
Nothing wrong.
Come on, Rough Week.
No, like, I met.
There's an open seat for you on Rough Week, whatever you want.
Yeah, there is. It is open for you.
We're doing it's going to be Matt Rife and Candace Owens double feature.
God, dream team.
Yeah, I'm going to come 100 times.
I want to know what you think of that, because like I've met a lot of these people in real life that are like alleged grifters, and most of them, when I meet them, I go, no, this person's nuts. Like they spend the whole dinner
I don't think the
talking
two are
about
mutually exclusive.
No, I do think you also just kind of naturally pigeonhole into something. Like if you start talking about something and get like a positive response from it. Like there's this one Paladin streamer I used to watch. It was just like a shitty like Overwatch clone. I have like 1,000 hours in it. I just played it like all the time. But there's this streamer I'd watch, Kami VS, and then I watched him for like several years, and then you could just see the life slowly drain out of his eyes over the years. He's like, yeah, we're playing in like he didn't like Paladins anymore because he played it so fucking much, like 10 hours a day, like a job.
To hate it.
Yeah, so after 3 years, so then he's like, oh, let me venture out. You guys, I'm going to be playing a new game this week, and then nobody watched because they're not Kami fans, they're Paladins fans.
Yeah.
So they're only seeing his videos to see like the new characters that come out, and then he's like, I just don't want to do that. But then it's like that was the only thing that gets views. And if you quit your job and that's your livelihood now, he goes, oh, well, I guess I'm trapped into playing this dead game that's like, not even fun anymore.
Yeah, it makes me think of like from your video, like stuff like, I guess that's like audience capture.
Yeah.
I guess you would call that. It makes me think about like our own personal careers. Like with stand-up stuff, it feels like you do need like a separate thing to be audience captured by. It almost feels like a gimmick or like a whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's definitely people that rep that with their like demographic. Like Sebastian Maniscalco is the king of the Italians.
Yeah,
for sure. Every Italian guy, it's like they're almost like Italian fans as well as Sebastian fans.
Yeah, they love like meatballs as much as they
so
love
to be
him.
like a representative of a
group.
thing. Or it could be the conservatives, it like be the socialists, it could be, like Indian women, like whatever your thing is, Joe Coy crushes with Filipinos.
When it's specific too, like my cousins and uncles are obsessed with Sebastian, and it's like, number one, he is literally talking about things that directly relate to them and only them, and number two, I think they're excited and flattered that someone is making content specifically for them.
Yeah, that like cares about their interests and stuff, and like everything is like relatable.
It can be genuine.
I think sometimes once you hit that thing, you feel like, oh, well, I guess this is my thing now, and then you just become that guy.
Like
and if you try to venture out, it gets less attention than your bread and butter, so then you just kind of end up doing a lot of what you do.
I also think that like a creator, a famous person can fall down a rabbit hole online just as easily as a non-famous person.
Yeah, of course.
So I think that a lot of these like creators that people are like, they're grifters or right-wing grifters. I'm like, or they fucking went down the same Telegram, 4chan rabbit hole that you did.
They got cued.
Yeah, they
just got
fully
cued.
got cued.
Yeah, but I think with like the way distribution models are now, that problem is worse than it's ever been.
Yeah, it definitely is like hyper-focused.
You open for a guy who goes, pfft.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah. I think there might be more. That's how I know him.
Okay.
But you might do
Bassmaster?
other stuff.
That's how I knew him.
Yeah.
But I knew of him from that pretty much exclusively.
Yeah.
He had one main hook, which was even that you could zoom out a little bit, like, okay, it's pranks.
Yeah, but stand-up is that thing that anyone can just kind of just like the cash grab, where it's like
porn
Farrah
stars
Abrams,
are doing it,
Farrah Abrams from Teen Mom. She put out a comedy special in like a Ramada banquet hall that was like the worst thing that I've ever seen in my life.
Oh,
like she's like reading off of her phone, and it's like all the lights are on. There's not even like a spotlight. She's just in like a hotel banquet thing, and it's just fucking brutal. But she's like, well, this is my special because I'm famous, so anyone within...
bombing?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, it was terrible.
Some of these people do well for their crowds.
A lot of people are just excited to see the person
them.
that they know. Like
It's
the
a
meet and greet can
yeah.
almost be as big as the show.
The show is
And the show is
The show is just a pretext to take a picture afterwards.
Yeah, you could
and
also
whatever
just-
happens on
I mean,
stage is
I've
whatever.
I've seen these YouTuber types just mention things they're associated with and get like massive cheers. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's like that time with Tommy, and they have such a parasocial thing. They go, oh, Tommy, yeah.
Yeah, like big Netflix specials do that. And when we got into comedy, like 2014ish, before we even did it, that's when like podcasts like Mark Maron were like blowing up.
Yeah.
And it's like the podcasts were the behind the scenes of the thing
Yeah,
that we
you're
really
right.
like.
Now it's
now the
switched.
podcast is the scene, and the stand up special at the end of the year is like,
almost-
oh, here's the really good stories that I didn't tell you guys on the cast.
Well, I always
we
think
saved
like,
it from this. So
I
you
feel like
get
that almost stand up is behind the scenes almost. It's like
It is.
the scene is I see you every week doing a podcast,
That's
and then
the
I
stand-up
don't
special.
see you,
get
do stand
you
up.
get a deeper glimpse into what are you doing when you're not on the mics? What are you doing?
Yeah.
So now it's flipped. It used to be the source material was the stand up, and this was just some bullshit to promote the stand up.
Yeah.
This is much more equitable than stand up.
Yeah.
It's like this is where the money is. This is where the attention is.
Yeah.
And then the stand up is just kind of like a fan engagement for a lot of people.
It depends who you are, though, because there's
That's
a lot
true.
of people now that are building careers just off of straight stand-up. I mean, there's more pure stand-ups. Granted, I think they stink, a lot of them.
Yeah.
But, like, I think there's more pure stand-ups now than there ever
just
have been.
clip world.
Because they just
Yeah.
clip up so much fucking crowd work, and they're good-looking, and they've reached an audience.
I'm right here.
This guy over here. Fucking sexy hack over here.
God, I'd kill to be a sexy hack. Go ahead.
What a great life, right?
Yeah.
No podcasting, no material.
Just-
You don't need to write jokes or do podcasts.
I could just get so much.
I'm
just
so bad at it
push-ups.
though. I could not
crowd
do it
work.
if I wanted to.
Yeah,
if I'm
I'm
going to do the full crowd work pivot, I'm like, what do you do? Oh man, there's a lot of like. I would just get really interested in just what like I don't have anything funny to say.
Yeah.
You
I
just
can't
genuinely
even.
compelled by their answers.
Yeah, I'm like, oh well.
I've
Did you go to
seen
school for that?
I've
Like,
seen you do it on. I think you and I are similar in that. Like, I think I'm a little more loose towards it or whatever, open towards it. But I've seen you do it on like accident almost. You know, like you'll do it in the moment.
Yeah, no, I'll do it if something happens
Something
and I have to. But I don't
happens.
fish for stuff.
No, I never fish
Because I don't care.
No,
Like, oh, how long have
fundamentally.
you been dating? I have never once in my life
Cared
cared
how
how
long
long someone's been
someone's been
what
dating.
people's relationship are to. I don't usually look at people in the crowd.
Yeah.
Above their head. I'm looking into the spotlight. I'm looking at
Yeah,
my
I
shoes.
seen you looked like directly like the stage will be 6 feet above the crowd, and I'm like Jarrett is looking directly across
Looking
from him.
straight.
That you could start assassinating people in front of me. You could start killing people. That's
You
why
would never notice.
the comedians that are like, oh, look at this one fucking guy that didn't laugh the whole time. I have never given
Oh, really?
one shit if one guy is not like if I'm not bombing and it's like I could tell there's probably 20 people that don't really care. I'm like, well, those 20 people
80
don't like
out
it.
of,
I was
80
like,
the other 80 love it.
That's
Who
fine.
cares?
If
That's never bugged me that there's one.
no,
guy
if there's somebody that doesn't like. Also, there's
Oh, I
people that
noticed
just don't
it.
laugh
Yeah.
sometimes.
I
Yeah, I
assume
noticed,
there's gonna be
like,
someone that does.
There's usually like some man. It's usually a man, and it's like I think I have too much like I got bullied energy
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on because like I'll see like a cool guy trying to be cool, and he's like folding his arms and not like really even like engaging with me, and like he's looking around the room like kind of almost, you know what I mean? Like,
And then afterwards, you have this animosity. Then he comes up to you, just like, I want to thank you so much. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
I've been
so
taking
that
notes.
happens-
Sometimes it's just autistic.
that happens
guys.
all the
It is
time.
just
With me,
autistic
it's-
guys.
with
a
me,
lot.
it's usually
they don't
like-
hate you. You're just projecting because you're like, he fucking knows.
yeah,
like,
yeah, you're right.
Usually to me, there's like a millennial wife in the front, and her husband's laughing, and I'm having a good set. Most of the crowd is laughing, and the husband's laughing, and she's just going.
I'm
Yeah.
completely fine with that. That
Yeah.
does not bug me
No, it
one
doesn't.
iota.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
Sometimes I'll just be like, I'll literally say, I understand this isn't for you.
you know what I wish. Well, we've talked about this, but I'm like, people are welcome to leave.
Oh yeah.
I go, if you don't like you like I don't think I'd be that offended if someone like watched me like I'm doing the hour, they watch 15
Yeah.
minutes, like that's not for me, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
No, I've invited people to leave before, and I'm not even like mad at them. Like
yeah,
that one
yeah,
time,
you're like, it's okay, like it's not for you.
I
It's-
headlined that place in like Winter Haven because I had like a really good feature set there opening for someone else, and then I had some like clip that go viral, and I messaged the club owner. I'm like, hey, I got a million
Check it
views.
out.
You want to have me back? And they're like, yeah, sure. And then they didn't promote it at all, and then I couldn't really. I didn't have much of a following to
It's
promote
also
either.
Winter Haven. No one's pulling in Winter Haven.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whole
so
county.
that's those
There's
hard things.
7,000 people there, and they're all 80.
Yeah, so you start off doing rooms in the middle of nowhere, and it's like, all right, you might be able to draw somebody in, Seattle and Chicago, but it's like, you're not pulling people in Ocala.
No,
it's like,
no
what
one
are
is.
the statistical odds you have a fan in Ocala?
Those small towns are that's why they're for people with no pull.
Yeah.
It's an even playing field. It's like,
Yes.
this is just a room that fills up, and it's like, you could be Fluffy or you could be me.
Yeah. So there were like...
And either way, you're making $300.
Yeah, either way, you're making $300.
Yeah, so it was like a room that sits like, what is it, like 60 people, if that. And then maybe there were like 10 people there, and 8 of them knew each other.
Yeah.
It was like 4 older couples, like 65-ish.
Yeah,
and
swinging.
then I'm doing my material. I'm not doing any crowd work. I'm just doing my jokes. Nothing is really hitting. And then there's just like husband just goes to his wife. She goes, I'm bored. And it was empty. So I could hear him. He's like, from me to you. He's like in the second row. I'm like, you just say you were bored? He goes, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, you could go. It's not going to get any different. I'm not going to adjust whatsoever. So I'm going to do another like 90 minutes of this. I'm going to tell every joke that I have. If you want to leave, that's completely fine. I think that guy over there likes it. I'll do it to him. I'll just have a conversation with this guy. Please feel free. Like, if you're not having a good time, it's not going to get any better. Then he goes, no, I'm just waiting for it to get funny. I'm like, okay, so what do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about politics? What do you think me and you, like, relate on?
Bond on.
What do you think is a common all of it? He goes, I don't know, just, what? Like, it was just nothing. I'm like, oh, yeah, you please leave. And then I think I did an hour and a half.
Yeah, spite hour?
Yeah. I'm like, well, you're not going to say you didn't get your money's worth, so I'm just going to do all of my jokes.
That's the thing I hear people say all the time is that they don't want to leave because they want to get their money's worth. I'm like, you're actually... Think about this. You've spent the money. You're not getting it back.
Yeah. Now you're wasting time in addition to
on
money.
top of your money.
Yeah, just like, I'm not quitting. I'm not getting fucking booed off.
Dude,
like,
I've left movies. They said, I go, it sucks.
Yeah.
It's Morbius. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
And it's funny because, like, after, like, I think 35, 40 minutes, I just keep telling stories about other shows that have gone horribly bad. And those were getting a lot of laughs because it was like they're relating. It's like, oh, yeah, this does go bad kind of often, doesn't it? I'm like, oh, yeah, dude, this isn't even the worst one this month. And then it's like I would get a laugh, and I'm like, okay, they're on my side now. Let me go back to jokes. And then just nothing. Again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well,
all right, you got to wrap things up. We're at hour 20.
Yeah, all right. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah.
Check out Jarrett's YouTube if you haven't already.
Yeah, Jarrett Moore.
Jarrett Moore on YouTube. And catch us over on the Patreon. Jarrett's going to be there as well. Jarrett's going to stick around. Patreon.com/roughweek2 bonus episodes a week.
Nice.
Thank you guys.
God bless.
Love you.